everybody. Make sure this doesn't keep playing something else. Nope. All right. How we doing? Do I sound good? Can you see me? Do we gotta do the whole Zoom thing? Make sure everything's working. Yeah, a few more people have showed up today. I don't know. It's like if you make things public, people show up. It's weird. Well, thank you guys for being here. For anybody who doesn't know what's going on, I have Patreon people, and we do these twice a month on Patreon. We do a Whiskey Thursday and a Coffee Saturday. Coffee Saturday? Is that right? Coffee Saturday. Anyway, just to cover the time zones and stuff, right? But since we were doing the big book launch this week, and I know a lot of you guys participated, it is so deeply appreciated. I reached out to the people who are normally on these live streams in Discord and said, would you guys be cool if I open this up for everybody and just kind of see what happens? And so thank them for being cool with this, because normally there's just like, 30 people max that show up, and it's just kind of like a cool little friend group, you know? So everybody's welcome, and you'll also see, by the way, just how unprofessional I am at live streaming. It's not really something I do very often. I actually haven't done any with this many people in quite some time. Early on in the channel, I used to do like milestone live streams when we hit subscriber milestones or whatever. The reason I'm saying that, I'm trying to cover my bases here, is because normally there's so few people that I can kind of like see everybody in the chat, and now I'm doing a thing where people are flying past me, so bear with me. if you have trouble being seen, I'm gonna do my best here. So it's a bit more of a production than it normally is. I also don't normally slip into a Cockney English accent. What was that about? But for real, before we get into, there's no agenda here. There's no schedule or anything. I'm just going to start off by thanking everybody. And then after that, it's just you guys ask questions, and I can chat about it, and we can talk. And I can pull things up if we need to or whatever. But no, to start with, if you guys want to know how the book thing went today, first of all, anybody who's tired of hearing about it, especially on like Instagram and whatnot, I'm sorry. I got on my own Instagram. I don't do much Instagram. I've got people who like push stuff out there for me on it. And I got on there early today, and I was just like, oh my God, there's so much. Like I'm annoyed by myself. I'm annoying myself here. But anyway, so I'm kind of apologizing for all the blast of all the book stuff, but it's just kind of one of those things you have to do. I hate having to like sell things. I was talking about that on TMI. But anyway, first of all, yeah, apologies for all the book blasting. And it's continuing, as you can see. I've got it up here. So like literally, it's a 2-day thing that we're trying to do for Amazon. Should I back up and just explain that? I feel like I should back up and explain that for anybody who just happens to not really know what's going on. So this book, we've been working on this thing for like at least 2.5 years. If you would like, I can tell some stories about all the setbacks that we ran into here and there. Anyway, we've been working on it for a long time, so now it's finally kind of time to make it public, and I just want to, do right by it, and make sure we try to get back what we put into it. But anyway, so the deal was, I'll step back a little bit. It's story time. It's story time with Joe. And by the way, I am drinking tonight. I've got a little actual legit old-fashioned. I'm usually like doing a little like trailer park old-fashioned, but I got a legit one here. So as legit as I can make in my house anyway. So we did get approached by a legit. How many times can I say the word legit in 1 minute? We did get approached by an actual publisher to do this book and release it like into bookstores, Barnes & Noble, and that whole thing. It was an offshoot of Macmillan. Didn't like the deal that they brought us. And I know some people who have published books, and they're all like, yeah, they'll find some little way to kind of get around it, and you'll wind up owing them money by the time it's all done. So we were very cautious about that. And we thought, you know what, for this first one, let's just self-distribute it. And if we can show that there's a market there, then maybe we could take the results of this book to a publisher and say, hey, there's a market for these books, and maybe get an actual deal that's not, just trying to take advantage of some little YouTuber, right? So that was what we were trying to do. And the idea was that we push the book on a handful of categories for like 2 days, for 48 hours. And if we could get on like the bestseller list for those little categories, then that's something that you can take to, again, a publisher and say like, hey, it was a bestseller. We're not the first people to do this. This is kind of a known thing. But so anyway, so that's why we were making this big push for the last 2 days. It ends tonight, so this is kind of like the last chance to get the book at a discount. I think the ebook, the Kindle book, is like 99 cents. 99 cents. The paperback is, I believe, $11.99, and the hardcover, which is what this is $34. So the prices go back up tomorrow. So this is your last chance. You got a QR code right there. Go for it. That's all I'm gonna do. That's all the selling I'm gonna do. But anyway, if y'all want to hear some results, I think I can say that for what we were trying to do on Amazon, it has been a success. So just real quick, and I know, God, there's all these chats coming through. I can't even keep track of them. I will respond to them, I promise. But let me just get this out first. So, for anybody who is curious, this is as of like 4 o'clock today, so it's probably changed a little bit since then. In the Kindle store, it ranked number 1 in internet and social media humor. Number 1 in computers and internet humor. These are all, again, very niche categories. Number 2 in internet and social media humor. So those are all, I believe, in the Kindle store. So that's all the ebook. For the actual book, it was number 6 today in trivia and fun facts. So I think the top 10 is considered bestseller list. So it was number 6 in trivia and fun facts, number 9 in reference, which kind of blows my mind. I did not expect to like rank in reference. And apparently we are number 275 in books overall today. So of all the books on Amazon, we're number 275. I don't think that gets you anything necessarily, but so I would call it a success. I also have the note here that it's number 7 in all of humor and number 7 in humor and entertainment on Kindle for the ebook. So, guys, that's y'all. You guys did that, and I cannot thank you enough. So before I say anything else and go forward any further in this live stream, I want to give a big cheers to you guys and thank you for helping us out with that. So cheers to you all, and I will take a sip. You know how I know it's a legit old-fashioned? Because I just got orange stuck in my mustache. And Zoe is at the door scratching, wanting to come in, but the door's closed because my wife is in bed right now. So I know you all want to see Zoe now, don't you? But anyway, all of that is just a big thank you to you guys. If I may be cheesy for just a second, I'm cheesy all the time. Who am I kidding? I don't know. If you're on the newsletter, the email list for the newsletter, you probably saw a whole bunch of emails come through in the last few days. So last night, there were a lot of emails that were coming back. Some of them were just like, go get them. Some of them were like, hey, I bought a book. And some of them were, I can't for whatever, technical issues and whatnot. But I was going through last night and responding to all those emails. And I don't know. You guys are just like a big amalgam of people. This is the whole parasocial thing, right? It's like there's a whole bunch of people out there, and it's just like a big group of people. And to me, it's just like this weird mass of a schizophrenic mass of people that can't all agree on anything or whatever. But as I was going through those emails, it just was it kind of it kind of got into my head. I started to realize, like, every single person that has bought this book, you're probably getting it as something that you could get for Christmas or something that you just want to read or whatever, but it was somebody taking that step to support the channel and to support me, and I get verklempt when I think about that. It really means a lot, and I cannot thank you guys enough. So there you go. I wanted to just say that. I see from Michael Robinson was asking about an audiobook. I just saw that flash up because I was about to say that. We are going to do an audiobook, but I need to record it. I got to do that part. So hasn't happened yet. We will do it. It's definitely on the list of things I need to get done soon. Mr. Microphone is right over there to do that. There will be an audiobook. We should have already had it by now, but haven't gotten to it. Sorry about that. Will happen though. So yeah, okay. So I got all that out of the way. I know that there were some people. I've seen a few super chats come through. I want to make sure and call out my super chat people. Oh, I got to do it over here. Like I said, I haven't done this many in a while. Oof. There is a way to pull up your comments on this screen. Well, here's a good comment to put up. Zoe is the way, the truth, and the dog, says Sinister Babe, and you are absolutely right. It is Z-O-E, not with a Y. You're asking. Let the cat in. I don't have a cat. Used to have a cat. Bamboo. Does the Black Friday struggles of last year feel... Oh, God. Do we need to talk about that? Was that part of it? Do I need to share that part of the story? I mean, y'all were there. You don't need to hear it. You don't need to hear it. Does it feel like it was worth it after today? Sure. Yeah, let's just say that. Actually, so it's not even that so much. It wasn't... Okay. It wasn't my struggles around Black Friday from last year that bothers me. Okay. What bothers me is that there were many people who thought that I was kind of ripping them off. And I don't even blame them for thinking that. Because what was supposed to arrive at Christmas did not arrive till, what, June? I mean, yeah. I will never stop making fun of the fact that we screwed up the pre-launch as bad as we did. We learned a lot of lessons. Won't happen again. But really, no. It's what bothers me isn't what I went through. It's what bothers me is that other people were put out by it, and it's one of those things when people are mad at you and you can't even blame them. You're just like, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I suck. I can't even disagree with you on that. I can't even defend myself. But anyway, so but I'm sure there's some of you here, by the way, and I just want to apologize for that. And it was also one of those things where I don't know. Have you ever screwed things up with somebody and you think, I've got to make a big gesture to undo this, right? And then you put off doing the thing that would undo it because you got to make a big gesture out of it. That's kind of what that became. Because it was like, okay, wow, we really screwed this up. I need to sign all these copies. Well, that just added to the time because instead of you guys just being able to order it from Amazon and it just shows up at your door, it had to come to me, had to be shipped to me, and then it turns out that Amazon has different rules if you're buying in bulk, and we were buying hundreds of them, so it became this whole thing. We literally would order it and have to wait 3 weeks, and then we would get this note from Amazon saying that the order was canceled, and then it turned out you have to be some kind of enterprise customer or something to order that many of them. So oh my God. So months went by that didn't need to go by, except I wanted to sign them and I wanted to do the right thing. And anyway, what do they say? Every good deed goes, no good deed goes unpunished, or something like that. Anyway, I was trying to do a good deed and it didn't work out. But here I am, I'm apologizing for it. That's not what we're here for. Nobody wants to hear this. Oh, we got a super chat here from the Smocking Gun. You're an American oh, please. My dad enjoyed your content for us coming to Kansas. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow. Yeah. Well, that means a lot. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I've heard that a few times. of somebody who has lost a loved one, and they came to me and said that like they watched my stuff together, and it meant a lot, and I was just like, wow. That's a hard thing to process. It means so much to me though that you got to share, my videos with your dad. So. Oh, this is something else I do on live streams. I just blank out every once in a while because I'll be in the middle of talking and then just kind of like, wait, what was I talking about? Where was I? What planet am I on? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, if y'all want, I could talk more about the whole book launch thing. I can talk more about how much I screwed this whole thing up. I could talk about anything. I can talk about the next video that's coming up. I can talk about past videos. Yeah. Veruca Pumpkin has never seen me live, so this is fun. Okay. You've only seen me dead. Okay, everybody wants me to be ADHD. Where did it go? Everybody, there's such a one of us vibe amongst the ADHDers in my audience. Y'all want me to be ADHD so bad. All I can say is I've never been diagnosed ADHD, but I feel like I've got to use the kind of cognitive tricks that ADHDers have to use to like get stuff done. But it's just funny how much people like want me to be ADHD. Do these more often. We love these live streams. Well, thank you. I've thought about it. I would love to hear y'all's. I mean, if you've never seen me do a live stream before, I guess here's your initiation to that. But that's something that we've thought about. Over the last few weeks, amongst a lot of other things that have been going on, I've been trying to get the next round of videos together. Some of y'all voted on the next round of thumbnails and whatnot. And as I'm putting all those together, it kind of hit me that, I'm really planning out 2026 at this point. Like I've got a handful, like 3 more videos coming out in December. And then after that, we're in 2026. So we've got some ideas in the hopper for things that we could do. And one of them, honestly, was just hopping on here and doing some podcasts, hopping on here and doing some live streams from time to time. If you guys think I'm halfway decent at it and give a crap and want to see it, so I will let you tell me. I've been told to take a sip, so I got to do it. Got to do it. Also, I've been told to do a flip. Got to do it. No, I can't do a flip. I don't have a trampoline in here. If I had a trampoline, I wouldn't be able to do that either. Do y'all want to hear the story about the time that I threw a birthday party for myself at a trampoline park when I was like 40 and none of my friends showed up because they're adults? Literally something that happened. Oh, okay. I'm getting some super chats coming in. I want to make sure and call you guys out because that's like so generous. But my God, I wish you could see what I can see here because it's like super confusing. Here we go. Fire, Iron, and Spice 9000. 30. Well, thanks so much, dude. Cheers, you rock. I've been a fan for like forever. From my glass of Maker's Mark to your... I'll show you what I got. Whatever you're drinking. What am I drinking? You're awesome, by the way. Thank you so much. That's very kind. This is a Balcones Texas Rye. Single barrel. So this is kind of some fancy stuff. Balcones is down in Waco. I've never actually been to their... I've never been to their distillery, but I hear it's really cool. But I do like their liqueur. That's not what's in my glass right now. What's in my glass right now is Uncle Nearest. And I just kind of brought this up here with me because I always like finish the drink and then I don't have anything. And I'm gonna have to be careful tonight because there have been a handful of these where I get a little sauced. It happens. Sentient Earthworm says, "Looking sharp, Joe." I appreciate that. By the way, I do believe I have a whole thing around how human beings, you are a worm that built a human around itself. That's our digestive system is basically just a giant worm, and then it just built a human around itself. I believe that. Oh, the new Glenn, yeah. I don't know what there is to talk about. I mean, I saw it. I watched Tim's live stream, and it was. I'm glad it. I forgot that it didn't land the first time. I thought it did for some reason. So it landed, and then Tim was like, "Oh yeah, this is the first time they've landed the booster," and I was like, "Really?" So I'm glad to see it go up. Every time this only launched twice, but the orientation of the nozzles at the bottom makes me think of honeycomb cereal. It makes me want to go get some honeycomb cereal. I don't know about you guys. Every time I see it, I'm just like, I want some honeycomb. Haven't had that in a while. Benny Brews. Oh, the Joe Scotch. I saw that before I launched, before I started up this thing. Joe Scotch. I'll have to look into that. Drink Scotch, kids. Oh, and there was a super chat on that too. Thank you, Benny. Let's see. Oh my God, I'm way behind. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be skipping over a lot of these real quick. I just want to make sure. What is happening? I responded to you a minute ago. The smocking gun. I remember because I said it like that. All the old super chats are gone, I'm being told. So, y'all, I want to explain why there's two different things that I'm looking at here, but y'all don't care. Nobody cares. Let me just get caught up here. Oh my God, I'm way behind on these. Here, let me scooch over here so I can see who did what. So Tomas Abrams said, "Cheers, dude. Cool to watch a live stream. Thank you for making cleaning my house enjoyable with your videos in the background." Oh, I appreciate that. That's why I do what I do, you know, just so people can clean their shit up. Oh, Dolan Moore, 49. My God, dude, thank you so much. I'm joining your Patreon tonight now that I know that you do live streams. Oh, cool. That wasn't part of the plan or anything, but thank you. It was totally part of the plan. No, thank you for that. That's extremely kind. I appreciate it. And is this one? Okay, I already got you. Okay, cool. Sorry, I want to get caught up on the super chats because if somebody's dropping some dope, I want to make sure and acknowledge that because that's very generous. You guys don't have to do that. All right. Okay. Your kidney laughed its ass off at that joke. I don't know which joke. But your kidney sounds like it has a great sense of humor. Your kidney has a great personality. And that's what it says on its Tinder profile. Dave Breen, $5. Thank you, sir. Or €5. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. Last time we saw you was your screenplay. That was fun. Say hi to the wife, Eileen. Hi, Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear I know this moment. Okay. Nobody wants that. Sorry. But thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the euros. I'm going to have to spend those next time I go to Europe. My wife and I may be traveling to North Africa this next summer because I don't know if you guys knew, I've talked about it here and there, but we had a foreign exchange student, a host daughter that was staying with us this last year. In fact, this glass, the reason I picked it, I don't know, can you read it? It says the Cool Dads Club. She bought me this for Father's Day. I've never been a dad before, and I'm still not technically a dad. That's the closest I ever came to it. But that made my heart go ba-dump, ba-dump, ba-dump. It was very sweet. But no, she lives in Tunisia, in North Africa, and we're trying to make some plans to go see her. I did not do my hair, guys. Sorry. And I'm trying to talk my wife into letting us go over to that new Egyptian museum in Cairo. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the videos that are on YouTube about it. It looks so freaking dope. I really want to see it. And I know that like saying, "Oh, so Egypt's right there." I'm sure it's like people coming to Texas and being like, you know, "Can we just hop over to Houston from El Paso? What's the big deal?" But you know, if we're there, then that might be kind of cool. Would love to do that. Honest Chuckle says I would make a great dad. I mean, you know what? That was kind of, well, thank you for saying that, I guess. But it's funny because my wife and I, we had that conversation. We never had kids, and we had that conversation with her, or about her, and how it was just kind of neat watching us kind of step into those roles, you know, and those parental roles, because we're not very parental people. So, but it was, you know, it was an experience. It was cool. It was cool. Of course, I got to send her back home when I was done with her. You know, if you're a parent, you can't actually do that. Also, didn't have to change any diapers or anything like that, so that's nice. DeSoda Forever, $5. Thank you so much. Which types of videos are your favorite? The sciencey types or the history mystery types or something else? I hate that history and mystery rhyme, because every time I say a mystery from history, I just feel like a cheese ball. I do like the mystery videos, and that's why we kind of gravitated toward that as the original, you know, topic for the first book that we were going to do. I think that if I have a superpower, if I have strength anyway, it's storytelling. I mean, I just kind of come from that background, so anytime that I can kind of flex those muscles, I like being able to do that a lot more than, say, doing like a list video of, you know, random facts and stuff like that. I mean, those have their place, and I'm not against them, but anytime that I can like flex my storytelling muscles, that's fun to me. Speaking of storytellers, Philip Shane is in the chat. Yeah, they just mean, yeah, it looks really cool, dude. Like every video I've seen, I'm just like, so cool. And I think it's cool that they were able to get a lot of the artifacts that had been sent to museums in other countries over, you know, because of colonialism and everything over the years. That the fact that they got a lot of that back, I think that's important, and I think it's good. It's good for them. Can you actually climb the pyramids? I don't know. I've never been. Of course, I would love to do that. Opinion rat. That's great. Oh, here we go. The tech chef 420. 420. Can we have more cult serial killer vids? Yeah. Do I have any of those on the horizon? I don't. Right. So, okay. The last couple rounds of thumbnail voting has included. Oh, and thank you for the super chat, by the way. Has included the Love Has Won cult, the Church of the Mother God, or the Cult of the Mother God. There's already a fantastic series, I want to say, on HBO Max about it. And maybe I don't need to do it because there's already a great series about it out there, but it is bonkers. It's so wild. And I've always wanted to cover it, but no, it never gets voted very high. I think this next round of videos, I'm going to have to pick some that I just really want to do regardless of how they get voted on, and just take the L if it winds up being that, you know. Oh, so Caroline's saying, by the way, Caroline, everybody thank her. It's Carolyn. The way that's spelled is freaking me out. She's helping moderate things today. So everybody applause for Carolyn. She's helping out. I appreciate it. But you're saying enable slow mode on the chat and make things easier for all of us. How does one do that? As you can tell, I don't do a lot of live streaming, so I don't really know what I'm doing. Slow mode? Timestamps, pop out chat. Live chat fan. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Yeah, boy, don't know what he's doing. Oh, slow mode is on. Oh, who did that? Send a message every minute. Wait, how? Oh, Kimmy did it. Oh, okay. This is why Kimmy is Kimmy on my team. She's the Kimmy on my team. Everybody needs a Kimmy, because she just like knows how to do things, and I'm like old man graybeard over here, just never knows how to do anything. Well, thank you, Kimmy. I guess that makes it easier for everybody. Gabby, yay, Gabby. 666. Why are you super chatting me, Satan here? You got the book? Yay! Is it appropriate for my 10-year-old? You need the name of that bourbon again. Yeah, it's appropriate if you're... Actually, somebody was pointing out that I guess on Amazon it's listed as for ages 8 through 18. They were like, I'm over 18, can I read it? Yeah, no, there's no I mean, well, I mean, there's some like dead body stuff, but it's not like there's not pictures of it or anything. It's if your 10-year-old watches my channel, they should be fine. They should be fine. And if not, and it winds up damaging them for life, you know, that's just the thing that's gonna happen. So I believe in you, Gabby. You can handle it. Wait, what's it? Not sure Joe knows how to run. I can run. Not for very far, but I can run. What's that about? My second self is a Scooby-Doo character. Ooh, Shaggy. I don't even know what that means, but anyway. Oh my God, there's actually a Scooby. What is happening? Are there so many people watching that there's actually somebody named Scooby-Doo? That this is so weird. There's a fart surgeon with like Groucho Marx cat. Is that what that is? I'm starting to think I've already drank too much. That nothing's making sense right now. Well, somebody said something nice. I'm going to read it. You're a magnificent storyteller. The only YouTuber that comes close to Rare Earth. I like Rare Earth. I think I met him one time. A long time ago. High praise. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now I'm burping in front of you guys. You're saying I would be the greatest history teacher. Well, you know my dad's a history teacher. So I shall defeat my dad. That's like there's the Oedipus complex, but isn't there also like the dad version of that where like men have to like outdo their dads or whatever? I can't even talk anymore. What are we doing here? Sorry, I've been seeing some super chats out of my corner of my eye here, but they're not showing up over here now. Give me just a second. Oh my God, there's something screwy here. Oh, Hagatha said, did Joe say he was going to print more dodecahedrons? Yes, we're going to be, yes. Black Friday should be coming out. By the way, here's mine. Oh. Okay. Let me get caught up on the super chats because people are really cool and I want to say thank you. $5. So, hi Joe, new sub here. Stumbled on your vids and binging them makes work days much more bearable. Thank you, sir. Question, do you like One Piece? I only know that it's an anime. That's all I know about it. And I know there's another YouTuber, God, what's his name? Chef PK, is that his name? Fart. He does like cooking videos around anime somehow. And he's always doing videos on One Piece, and I did not know what One Piece was. I thought it was like a swimsuit. So I was very confused. Okay, I'm seeing so many interesting questions, but I really want to get these super chats thanked here. So Moore's Omnium, $5. Thank you so much. I once looked up info on canker sores in case whose channel I found. There is a Canker Boy channel, but there's only like a handful of videos on it. I was gonna make it a whole thing for a while, and then I was like, there's not that much you can talk about on that subject, and turns out not a whole lot of people are like searching out content on canker sores. It's a very niche product. Is all of the book derived from your videos? No. Dude, that's your real beard. I am super impressed, by the way. There's, I want to say 3 or 4 chapters in the book that are not from videos that I've done. I wanted to make sure there was some original stuff in there. One of them was on the Vittorio Peak treasure. It's like this legend of some lost treasure in this place called Victoria Peak, and it's like tells a whole story of the legend and the people who tried to find it. One of my favorites is a story about a singer named Connie Converse. She was like this sort of folk singer in the Dylan days. She kind of hung in that crowd in Greenwich Village and all that, and she disappeared one day. And so it's kind of like a almost like a Nick Drake, if you know who Nick Drake is, kind of thing. Like this really talented musician who just, it's thought that she passed away, but like she just kind of disappeared one day, and nobody knows what happens to her. She was never found, but she was like this really talented musician, and that's in there. Another one is about Prester Johns, who is this guy who's like this legend. The legend is that he lived to be like super old, and it's like kind of examining how old he actually was and stuff. KJ Mthenu says, "Can't wait until I run into you in Frisco somewhere." Oh, and totally fangirl. Well, I don't get to Frisco very often. If you ever do see me somewhere, feel free to come up and say hi. It is always appreciated. But I'm just a person. There have definitely been. I will tell you that if you come up and talk to me in person, I will walk away questioning whether I was okay in that interaction, probably more than you, or at least as much. But it is funny how some people. There have been times when people have come up and started talking to me, and I asked them, "Oh, hey, what's your name?" And they literally couldn't think of their names. They just kind of like just glitched. I think there's just something really. I think your brain sometimes doesn't know how to handle when somebody that you see on a screen in like 2D suddenly is like in front of you, you know, and you just like you just don't know how to process what you're seeing, you know. I've seen that happen before, so yeah. Not gonna lie, I'm very picky with my YouTubers because of my asparagus syndrome. And your channel just flows easy with me. Okay, sorry, asparagus. Are you saying Asperger's? Or I'm sorry. Oh my god. I'm sitting here like, is asparagus syndrome when your pee smells? Is that what that is? Well, you said something very kind, and I made it about urine, so that's how I roll. No, thank you very much for saying that. That's very nice. Thank you. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, Kimmy's in here. Yay. Well, I knew she was here because she was like saving my ass. Like always. By the way, I don't know how much you guys appreciate Kimmy, but I can just tell you you're not appreciating her enough because she's awesome. Oh my, Live Joe, live from Tennessee. This is probably off topic, but I love your book. Oh, yay. I'm glad you said that. Oh, for real, that when I had a sample of these, we had like a stack of samples, and I had to like go through and just kind of like, you know, double check, triple check, and all that. And I'm sitting there just kind of reading through it, and I was like, I'm actually enjoying reading this thing. This is actually a fun little book. So, oh, by the way, you know who needs to buy the book today? Me. They're gonna be my Christmas presents, so I need to do that when we're done here. Maybe I should stop burping on camera. Okay. Oh, Fire Ice and Spice again. $50. Good lord, dude. Thank you. I would love to work on short film projects with you. You and Ryan Connolly and the Film Riot guys are at the top of my list. We could have some fun with that. By the way, the Boxer Dog Test loves the sound of your voice. Oh. Well, thanks all around on all that. It's funny. So, as I've said a million times, next month the oldest and newest project is coming out. It really bugs me that I don't have a trailer to show yet. Not a legit one. But it's, I don't know. I was having a conversation with my CPA the other day. We're going over end of the year finances and stuff, and he was asking. He was like, "Do you have any?" He's looking forward to the next year. We're ahead in the next year, and he was like, "Do you have any big projects scheduled for this next year?" And I was like, "No." And now I'm having this whole moment. And it's like, oh my god, once I finish this documentary, it's like I don't really have anything behind that. So we'll be coming up with some stuff for sure. Hair character bowing down saying, "Oh, this must be like an animation or something." Well, $10 from my yo. Thank you so much. It's very kind. And I'm sure that pear sticker is adorable, but it doesn't show up here. Are we drunk yet? I see that question. Not enough. This is another problem with doing live streams on the whiskey nights, is I'm talking the whole time and I don't get a chance to imbibe. Oh. Well, this is a neat question. Have you discovered any cool YouTube channels lately that you think are worth following? Discovered. Okay, I don't know about any that I might have discovered necessarily, but I was thinking about, like, it would be cool if I had a place to share cool videos that I've run across, you know? I've been thinking maybe the newsletter would be a place to do that. There's always, you know, Patreon and stuff, but I want to do that because I run into really cool videos from time to time, and I want to share them just like everybody else does. And I need to figure it. I guess I could do that in the community tab, and obviously just on social media and stuff. But I'm so bad on social media. Very, very bad. All right, let me scan through. I know I'm way behind. Oh, Rossen Magpie. Thank you for the super chat. If the book does well, will you do any local book signings? So we have talked about maybe going around with the documentary. This might be the next, like, big project this next year, actually. We've talked a lot about doing live shows. Just doing a live tour to comedy show or comedy clubs or, I don't know, venues in various places. But doing a live show, I have a vague idea of what that could be. But obviously having books there to sign and stuff like that would be part of it. But I don't have anything lined up to do that at, like, say, Half Price Books or something like that. But that's worth looking into. Good looking out. Yeah. Let's see. The beard has returned. The beard is 100% real. I'm short, high-pitched voice, and terrible skin, but you got the facial hair package and birth. It's distinctive. You stand out. Actually, you know what? I've got the video that, should we actually manage to get it finished, will come out on Monday. I talk about that a little bit. I talk about why, well, the video is about why weirdos rise to power, like authoritarian types, dictators and whatnot. They're all kind of weird. And part of that is they have, like, weird hair and weird style and stuff like that. And I talk about how, like, having a distinctive look that could even be recognized just as a silhouette. It's like a branding thing. It's a personal branding thing. So rock that beard, bro. That's all I gotta say. Undeadly. $6.99. Wanted to buy you a coffee. Oh, thank you. You were there doing all my studies while I was getting my degree, working for 5 years now. Thanks for the company. Oh, that's really cool. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I get that from time to time. I get people who say that, like, you know, they were going through a rough time and for whatever reason my videos kind of helped them get through it. I am not here to decide whether or not that makes any sense, but I'm glad I could serve that role for people. That's, you know, that's not necessarily the reason I'm here, but I'm glad that I could do that, and that means a lot that you told me that. Thank you. Let's see. Let me go through. I had another question about the whiskeys. This is the Balcones Texas Rye, and this is like a single barrel. This is like the fancy stuff. I got the fancy stuff for you guys. Feel honored. Let's see. Anthony Pearson, Super Chat $4.99. How did your taste in clothing change as you got older? As a 23-year-old, I'm definitely not the type to wear slacks and a polo. Oh my God, I think about this so much. Unfortunately, my taste in clothing has not changed that much. I'm still mostly in shorts and t-shirts. You know Angus Young from AC/DC and how he wears like a schoolboy's outfit, but he's like, you know, 103 years old now, up on stage wearing a schoolboy's outfit, and he just looks ridiculous? That's me. That's me. That's how I dress. every once in a while I'll be like, God, I've got to start acting like an adult, and I'll go like buy a nice or a whole bunch of nice outfits. I did that a couple years ago. I spent a ridiculous amount of money on like a set of nice clothing. I'm going to be an adult now. Do you think I ever wear that stuff? No. I'm mostly in t-shirts and shorts. In my defense, I live in Texas, and anything more than t-shirts and shorts you're basically just asking for a heat stroke. It's my excuse anyway. Heather Gravity Photo Experience. $5. Thank you so much. Just joined. Got 2 copies of the book. My fiance and I have been watching you for a long time. Can't wait for lightning round. Love you. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys are gonna make me feel good about myself. That's so weird. I'm Presbyterian. We're not supposed to do that. I appreciate that. Oh, somebody mentioned the Hoof GP. Who talks about Hoof GP? That I cannot believe I didn't mention that in my TMI video about satisfying content. That is like this weirdly wholesome channel about a guy who's like a farrier for cows and stuff. Really interesting. We got Stephanie Alexander, $10. Thank you so much. My son, yeah, my voice goes way up whenever I say thank you. My son and I, 6, love your channel so much. You have opened up our wonder for science and history. You've also pulled me out of some very dark places. Okay, again, thank you for saying that, and thank you for the super chat. I sometimes am baffled when people say that I've helped them come out of dark places, because I'm like, I'm talking about existential dread 90% of the time. Like, how is that helpful? But I think part of the reason I talk about that stuff is because it's stuff that, I'm working through myself. And I think there's just something about sharing something that's authentic and real with other people that, I don't know, maybe it just helps you to not feel alone, Regardless, I shouldn't try to even think about it too much. It's just, I'm glad I can be that for people. And I appreciate you letting me know. That's really cool. Mark Kiki01 says, you ordered the book on what was my November 12th South Korean time. Will that still count for numbers on that? I think so, yeah. No, we're good. Don't worry about it. And thank you for doing that, and thank you for the super chat. Oh, that's 5,000. Oh, what is the Korean currency? I should know this. It's not, I'm not even going to say. I'm an idiot. Whatever it is, thank you. I would fail at like GeoGuessr because I don't know the currency. Dia, but in YouTube. Wait. Oh, that's not $100. That's ARS. What is that? Australia? Anyway, it's very nice. Thank you. What's your favorite cocktail if you have one to begin with? Old fashions. Yeah. That's kind of my stock. If the bar is really busy, it is something that takes a little bit of like muddling, and you gotta like work it a little bit. If the bar is really busy, I'll just get like a Jack and Coke, because I was a bartender back in the day, and I'm certainly not gonna ask the bartender to, make his or her life harder. But yeah, old fashions. It's kind of my thing. If you look back far enough on the channel, there's a video where I make old fashions, and I jokingly get like blitzed. Garen Brooks, $20. Thank you so much. My voice goes like super high. I'm so stupid. Okay, your book reminds me of one of my favorites, Strange Stories, Amazing Facts. In fact, I first started watching your channel because of how much your content reminded me of that book. Oh, that's cool. Strange Stories, Amazing Facts. No, I don't. I'm not familiar with that one. You're saying my book reminds you. I don't know if it's just like the concept of the book, or if you have it and reading it made you think of this, but. What I was kind of hoping that these could sort of be is like the Time Life Mysteries of the Unknown books of the 2020s or whatever. I definitely grew up on those, and there they are, right there. Yeah. Well, those are actually the Library of Curious and Unusual Facts. That's what those are. But my aunt had the what was it? What did I just say? Time, Life, Mysteries of the Unknown. That's what it was. So my aunt had those, and I would always go over to her house and read them, and then she like gave them to me one day. And honestly, I think you could probably tie a red string straight between that and what I do now, because well, if you've read the book, then you know. But I talk in the introduction of this book about how I think that talking about mysteries is just sort of a conduit for talking about science stuff, you know. Talking about one can lead you to the other, and it certainly, when I was a kid, opened up a big. It opened up my curiosity about the world, you know, and I really do. I think it kind of led me here in a way. Yeah. I'm seeing more love for the Hoof GP. Yeah, it's a cool channel, and that guy, I would love to meet that guy. He just seems like a good guy, you know. Plus, he just has that Scottish brogue, and he's always got poop on his face. Shite, as they say. $10 from Pete King. Thank you. The Eclipse episode is your favorite. Oh yeah. God, I sometimes forget we even did that. That was amazing. That was. Here's how I know that a total solar eclipse is magic, because my wife, who couldn't give two squeezes from butt cheeks about science or astronomy in any way, she was here when we did that, and like for weeks afterwards, she could not stop talking about it. She was like, "That was the coolest thing I've ever seen," and it was so cool, so cool. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I have to read this. I love you, Joey. You my white internet husband. I'll take it. It's an honor. Thank you. So funny. All right, scroll through. Okay. I think we might be getting caught up. Everything for Now says, love your content. Have you ever listened to Seth MacFarlane's? No, but I know he's a pretty accomplished musician, right? It's like a jazz lounge type stuff, right? That's funny you say that. I was just thinking the other day, what happened to Seth MacFarlane? I haven't seen anything from that guy in a while. And my God, I missed the Orville. The Orville was way too good for its own good. Like, it had no business being as good as it was, especially the third season. They kind of stopped with the comedy part in the third season. We're just like, let's just tell good stories. And I'm a huge fan of the Orville. And Seth MacFarlane, for that matter. Although Family Guy is not my favorite show, but still. Well, this is not a super chat, but I feel like I need to speak to this. How do you deal with the surreal, bonkers, awesome, weird existence we're in? How do you feel about the fact that millions of people feel like they know you and you don't know any of them? Man, that is a real question right there. Well, those are two real questions, actually. I don't have any secrets for how to deal with the world as it is right now that's any better than anybody else. I'm just making my way like anybody else is. I don't know how I deal with the world today. I'm just trying to make my way, you know. Part of what I like to do on the channel, and I don't know if this is just an extension of just my personality or the things that I'm interested in or whatever, but I try to come at things with some perspective. Perspective meaning like there's nothing new under the sun in a lot of ways. I did a video a while back about like Strauss-Howe generational theory and like cycles, how like history tends to work in cycles, and I don't necessarily believe that. On some level I feel like it's basically astrology, but I do think there is something to it, you know, that like generations are going to forget the lessons of the past, and we just kind of keep repeating the same mistakes. And I'm fascinated with the idea of somebody that like a story of somebody that's 1,000 years old. What would somebody be like if they had actually lived for 1,000 years? Like, I'm 50, Turned 50 this last year, and already I feel like I'm just seeing the same mistakes being made over and over again. We never seem to learn our lessons. I know this is starting to sound really negative, but I think a lot about like what it must be like to be like 1,000 years old and have that much experience under your belt, and just know that like in some ways things really don't change because humans are gonna human, you know. But I try to maintain a bigger perspective than what you see in the rectangle, you know. And I guess that's my way of coping. And I hope that maybe that is something that comes across in the channel, and maybe if people are getting something out of it and it's helping them through dark times and stuff, maybe that's kind of where they're coming from, is that I have that kind of perspective. I try to maintain that perspective. I'm not perfect. I'm just a person. But the whole thing about the millions of people feel like they know you and you don't know any of them, that's weird. It's a hard thing to like nail down. When I talk about people coming up to me in public, again, please, if you see me, come say hi. It's always a nice thing. But it does get weird sometimes when people come up and they reference something that I said in a video 7 years ago. And no, it's not like that. No, I'm saying that wrong. Here, what it is a total stranger comes up to me and shares something that they share in common. They start talking about some specific thing from when I was a kid, and I have no idea who this person is, and I'm like, how do you know that? And it's clearly something I just said in a video 7 years ago or something, and totally forgot about a week later. But whatever that one little specific thing was, it was something that meant a lot to them because maybe they were doing the same thing. And it's kind of a weird magic trick to say what other people are thinking, or you know, share something that somebody else has been through. And I know that like on a certain level it kind of helps people to feel less alone, and I think that's an important thing. But that's why like some little tiny thing that I said 7 years ago will just like really get like embedded in somebody else's head, because it's like, oh my god, I had a dog just like that too, or something, you know, whatever. But it is odd when somebody comes up to me and just like starts talking about some specific thing from my past, and I'm just like, that is super weird. Or not even about my past, about my present. Maybe I showed something in my house one time, and they're like, I have the same poster on my wall, and I'm just like, what? That's weird. It is a very unique experience, and the whole concept of other people knowing so much about me and whatnot. But you know, I'm not complaining. It's part of it, and like I said, I'm just glad I get to kind of be that for some people, you know. Okay, so Yankee Fire 2. Hey Joe, I've been a regular watcher. 25. Thank you so much. It's just gonna keep happening. I'm too self-aware of it now. Yeah. Anyway, Phineas Gage video. Thank you for many years of relatable, fascinating, funny content. Might we get any more Clone Joe cameo? I need to be doing more of those, don't I? Yeah. I really fell off with the, especially this last year. I really fell off with the sketches and stuff. I think in my brain I kind of went from, hey, fun little sketch content sprinkled here and there throughout the videos, to I'm going to do some big project like this documentary. And I think it just kind of became that. But I miss those as much as you guys do. And I know that my editor, Nick, loves cutting those things together because it's just something different, right? So I'm going to work on that in the next year. That's a goal. That's a goal for the next year. Ooh, Fighting Words. The Orville is a better version of Star Trek. I'm not necessarily Trekkie. I watched The Next Generation when I was young. I want to say that I've seen all of the original series way back when. I was not alive when the original series came out. I'm old, but I'm not that old. But I was kind of into The Next Generation. I watched a lot of Deep Space Nine. I kind of fell off the wagon on Voyager, and I've never really kept track since then. But let's see. How is your new car? Oh boy, here we go. I just did a 48-hour test drive of the new Model Y, and you really like it. You're considering getting one, somewhat shamefully. You don't have to feel shame about it. You know, I don't do that. If it's a car that fits your needs, I will say this. Okay, how far down this rabbit hole do I want to go? Teslas, I still think, are the best entry point for EVs. I do think that, absolutely. And I haven't had a Model Y. I had a Model 3. I've heard really good things about the Model Y, so don't worry about the shame part. How is my new car? It was in the shop for like 3 weeks. Right around, I think I got it back literally just a couple of days before that video came out. Getting the same charging problem from the video finally got fixed. Well, for now. But that's the thing, like every time I plug it in, I have a little anxiety attack because it's like, oh God, is it going to not charge this time and I'm going to have to take it back again? But there were like 4 different things that I had to get fixed when I took it in. They did all get fixed. It's working great. Fingers crossed it keeps working great. And as I said in the video, the car itself is great. It's amazing. And again, I judge a lot of things off of whether or not my wife likes them, because if I'm excited about it, of course I like it. I'm into EVs, so of course I like it. She couldn't care less. She's driven Hondas her whole life, and she has no intention of ever not doing that. But she loves this car, and has said so many times. So I'm just like, okay, I guess it's a pretty good car. It's very luxurious. I'm glad to have it. Just hopefully it doesn't fall apart on me again. But thank you for asking. No, I do like the car. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit because my mother-in-law got a car, an EV, but she got like this Toyota that I didn't even know they made this thing. I'm like, where'd you even find this? And she's been having a lot of trouble with it. But anyway. The Man from Earth. When I was referencing 1,000-year-old person, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, I have seen that movie. God, it's been a while though. That's the one where like at a certain point he starts like claiming he was Jesus or something, right? Yes, I have seen that movie. It's an interesting movie. It deals with some interesting concepts. Real quick, by the way, is anybody seeing Pluribus, the new Vince Gilligan show on Apple TV Plus? I know I was just advertising for Invasion, and maybe that's jumping the gun here, but it's a great show. I mean, it's only 2 episodes in so far, but the concept is great. The concept is great. The first episode was a super banger. The second episode, I don't know, there was some stuff in it that I was like, I would have done that a little bit differently, but the concepts in it are fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Opinion Rat. Oh, we're back to Opinion Rat. Are you going to be on Lateral with your cousin Tom Scott? He's never asked me to be on. Is he still doing that? I should know that, shouldn't I? Tom, I do know Tom. We have hung out a few times. I like Tom. But he's never asked me to be on that. I don't know. I absolutely would if he asked me to. I need to be going on more podcasts, actually. That's another thing I need to try to do this next year, is to like get out there and stuff. Joe, you should do a video about AI sex robots. Oh my God. Oh, and thank you for the super chat, by the way. There is a short film that I wrote that's about sex robots. That's set in the near future, and it's called Sex Machina. Like Ex Machina, Sex Machina. That's all I'm going to say about it. I ultimately did not make it because I honestly started to get worried I was going to get super like canceled for it. But the reason why I was interested in that concept though is because I 1000% think that's going to be a thing. I think it already is kind of a thing. I mean, those like real dolls and stuff, and they've got like AI real dolls that will like respond and interact with you. It's super weird, but I've had this theory for a long time that porn always leads the way in any new technology. It led the way in internet. It led the way with VHS, VR, and it's going to lead the way with AI. I 1000% believe that. Oh my god, I missed a whole lot of these. Let me go back here. Sorry. Jeez, I skipped forward a little bit. More clones I'm seeing. Oh my god, what's going on here? Sorry, guys, give me a second. This thing's skipping around, and I think I've lost a lot of comments here. I don't want to do that. Yeah, shoot. Sorry, there's some super chats that have been cut off on my thing here. I think I'm not too far behind. Okay, I'm gonna have to do like real quick lightning round. Okay. Greg saying, just got to Dallas for a week of work. Where's a good place in the area to get a good cup of coffee? Thanks for what you do in entertaining us, and thank you for the super chat. Depends on what part of town you're in. I'm in East Dallas. Cultivar is my go-to place. White Rock Coffee is great over on Northwest Highway. Houndstooth on Central Expressway. Those are all good places. There's lots of good coffee places here, yeah. Good night from Ireland. Joe gotta go. I love Ireland. We went there about 5 years ago. And thank you for being here, and thank you for the super chat. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to fly through these. I hate the idea that people like left super chats, and I never actually responded to them. That's a terrible thing to do. Let's see. Would you recommend starting a brand new YouTube podcast to someone with similar talents? Is the market already saturated? Thinking about launching. Jason makes shit up. Already about the domain. All I can tell you is that when I started doing this for real, like when I got serious about it in like 2014 or whatever, people were saying that it was oversaturated then. So I don't buy the idea that it's oversaturated. I think there's still room. Okay, sorry, I'm going back over here now because I've clearly missed a few. More clones. I wonder how many times this is from Jason Palmer. I wonder how many times your car's lights have flashed during this live stream. None, because I'm on the other side of the house. It's fine. Thank you for that super chat. Stephanie Alexandra says, you're from Adelaide, Somerton man. Oh, very cool. Yeah. I thought it was so cool that I got to talk to, of course I can't think of his name now, but the guy who like researched it. That was really cool. Okay. Am I caught up? I think I'm caught up. I am caught up. Okay. Ya boy's caught up. Okay, 1 second. Here we go. DeSoto Forever. Any Nebula only content coming out in the next year? Well, I mean, the documentary for a while is going to be Nebula only. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head, honestly. Well, actually, so there's the Subliminal series that I went to New York and I shot it in June of this last year. I think it's come out in January or February. I think February. It'll probably creep into March if I'm being honest. But that's going to live exclusively on Nebula. But yeah, I got to direct a TV episode, actually. It's a sort of Twilight Zone-esque anthology series kind of thing. We'll see how it goes. I'm glad I got to do it. I met some really great people and worked with a really professional group, and that was cool. But that's only going to be on Nebula for sure. Yeah. Never make that face again. Never do that tongue thing ever again, Joe. Ever. Ever. Oh, we got Mitchie Missing Daughter. wanting to talk about the missing 411 cases? Are you a missing 411 case that showed up on my chat? I have talked about it, actually. If you're really into them, you might not want to watch it. I kind of do debunk them a little bit, but yes, I'm very familiar with the missing 411 stuff. Oh, and Carolyn already caught you up on that. Yeah. Who's mentioning oceanfront property? Fire, iron, and spice. That's not a Nebula thing. I am thinking I should probably do like an up-res on that. That movie was shot, God, it's been over 20 years. It was over 20 years ago when I shot that. And when I shot it, like high def existed, but it was still prohibitively expensive. So I shot that standard definition. So it's like a 480 by 720 film. And actually it's even smaller than that because we had to, I letterboxed it because back then it was 4x3, so I letterboxed it, so it was even smaller. You pull it up on a computer now and it's like that big. It's ridiculous. So I've been thinking about maybe doing an AI up-res or something, but I'm afraid to try to up-res that, especially if I try to go all the way to 4K, it would probably look really weird. So it might just be a thing from my past at this point. You hit on a Joe Scott live stream better than a Joe Scott dead stream. I wonder if anybody has done like a live stream from inside their coffin. Like they had this has to have been a thing. Somebody has to have like been buried with a camera that live streamed them in their death. Somebody's done that. Philip would know. I know I could probably up-res it to 1080 pretty easily. I don't know about 4K though. I don't know. Like every time I see something that's really blown up that big, it just starts to look really artificial, and you know what AI starts to do with it, you know. Here's the deal. The big joke in the film is that the guy is he has hooked up, not fully hooked up, but like started to hook up with a girl that he knew was young, but it turns out she's like too young. And honest to God, I think I'm so worried about getting canceled all the time. And I think I think if that film was released, I would probably get canceled for it at this point. So many of the things I did when I was younger, I would probably get canceled for. Anyway, Wesley Perry, 1999. Thank you. It's funny that it went down to 1999. Anyway, Tom Brady cloned his dog. Oh, I heard about this. Yeah. You're not a wealthy person, but you would sell my Silverado and go into debt to clone my late dog Roxy. Do you believe that her personality would... Oh, man. That's an interesting experiment, isn't it? Whole nature versus nurture thing. I have no idea. God, I gotta sit with that. Because, like, you know, I got two Frenchies, and they are very different personalities. But one is also older than the other one. And so she kind of became the mama dog, sort of, even though she's not the mom. Nature versus nurture, that's a good question. I don't know. And Roxy, by the way, is a great name. That was my vote for Zoe. My wife won out and it became Zoe, but I wanted Roxy. Roxy's a great dog name. And I don't know how long ago you lost Roxy, but my condolences. That sucks. Jula Billy says, you guess you're a new member again. I can't drink because I'm in my phlebotomy. An externship? What is an externship? Why do I not know that term? I mean, obviously it's the opposite of an internship. I know what phlebotomy is. But thank you for that super chat. And when you can drink, do. For health. I think there is a decent argument to be made that like moderate drinking is actually kind of a good thing if it helps you to socialize. Because where are the studies that say, God, I keep picking this up and not drinking it. Hang on. It's doing the thing where it's clogging up my mouth hole. It's clogging my mouth hole. I saw something about how like living in isolation, not having a good social network around yourself is as bad as smoking. Here's a concept. I don't know if it's a video or not. Maybe it's a TMI video. Maybe it's just amusing. But, not amusing, but amusing. That, I was thinking about how, like, back in, say, like, okay, so, like, the Native American tribes that lived in longhouses, right? So, like, multiple families would live in one big room in a longhouse. And you go back way even further than that, you might have, like, caveman days where people, like, lived in caves or, like, you know, entire families living in yurts, and then you like think about the pioneer days where entire families are living in one room houses and stuff like that. I feel like the progression of humanity and technology and everything has basically been a process of us being more and more split up and isolated. You know, we went from like families living in a one room house to families living in multi-room houses where they all have their own little private spaces. And then now we have, do we need to even go there about like social media and eventually like VR, where like people are just living in their own bespoke realities and we're not even like living in the same sense of reality anymore. It just feels like there's a progression throughout human history of going from like being very communal and living in groups to being very isolated and being well, again, I get like we going to where we're living in our own little realities. It's kind of scary when you look at it like that. I had that thought, and I don't know if there's a video in it or not, but it's something that's intriguing to me. Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves. I don't know. Just a thought. That was my musing. Okay, I think I saw some more stuff coming. Y'all having fun? Is this good? Y'all having fun? Are we doing all right here? Am I entertaining to you guys? I'm so used to being, scripted out. One of my favorite moments from Parks and Rec, and Kimmy and I talk about Parks and Rec a lot. I think we share that, our love for Parks and Rec. But it's in the last season when Andy had his own TV show, the Johnny Karate. Oh my God, I gotta get it. The Johnny Karate Fun Time for the Fun Time Explosion Hour or something like that. Oh my God, I got it wrong. I know I got it wrong. Anyway, they interrupt his show because he's about to move away. It's like at the very end of the series. He's about to move away, and they interrupt the show to like. What did they do? They like gave him the key to the city, and they like raised his karate gi up into the rafters and stuff. But anyway, they interrupt him, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know what to say." Seriously, normally everything's scripted out, and now I don't know what to say. It's kind of a nightmare. I'm sorry, that line has always cracked me up. The whole idea that like he's off script and suddenly he's like, this is kind of a nightmare. I've lived that, and it is. I'm not living it right now. Y'all are cool. We're good. All 800 of you. There's 800 people watching. No, I'm handling. I'm all right. My blood pressure's good. We're good. I'm almost out of this, by the way. My time to hit up the balconies. Oh, is this going to be an audiobook? I talked about this earlier. Yes, it will be. I just need to record it. Haven't had a chance to do that yet. It will be. I promise. Whoa. Do I believe in free will? Yes and no. I think there are modules in your brain that make your decisions before you know you're making decisions. And in a sense, no, you actually don't really have free will for that reason. Look up the split brain experiments video. It is a fascinating topic, to me anyway. And if you disagree, you're wrong. I just answered that. Oh, I'm getting caught up again, aren't I? Wow. See, normally there's only like not that many people here, and I don't have trouble keeping up with all the comments. So Billy. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Julie C. The people in the regular live stream crew. Julie C. is somebody who is kind of famous for like giving out a whole bunch of memberships, and I don't even know how that works, but she does it. It's super generous, and she's a very what's the word I'm looking for? Respected, appreciated member of the community. I cannot be stopped. You can only hope to contain me. By the way, externship is like an internship, but you pay them, don't get paid, and are still you pay them? Is that legal? Or I guess that's part of the schooling. Interesting. Okay. I knew I'd get corrected on it. The Johnny Karate Super Awesome Musical Explosion Show. Isn't fun in there somewhere? The musical Fun Time Explosion Show? Am I wrong about that? Can my voice get any higher? Oh, do I have any interviews coming up with other smart people? Possibly. We're considering kind of getting back into podcast adjacent type stuff. I want to. The podcast, for anybody who's curious, so I had the Conversations with Joe podcast for a while, and I hired an editor to edit that, and let's just say, we sold sponsorships and stuff, but it just never quite made back what I was spending on it. It was a money loser. I was losing money on it. But the main point of the podcast for me, honestly, was always just it was an excuse to talk to interesting people, Hey, maybe they'll talk to me if I have a podcast, right? So we might possibly bring some version of it back, but it won't be on its own channel. I think that was the mistake that we made, is I started a whole new channel about it. And they say that you only start a new channel if it's for a different audience. So I think the audience really was the same. It was just a different type of content. I think that was the mistake that I made. I shouldn't have tried to make it a whole different channel. We'll see. It's on the table. Let's put it that way. I would like to. That was my favorite thing, was getting a chance to meet really interesting, smart people, and yeah. Yes. Should I record it with David Attenborough's voice? By the way, I've decided, I don't know, I had talked earlier about how I'm getting grayer and older. I think a lot these days about what kind of old guy I'm going to be. Because I'm already halfway there. And, who am I kidding? I'm 2/3 of the way there. But I like the idea of being either or both David Attenborough and Mel Brooks. I love that these dudes are 99 years old and still doing their thing. David Attenborough, he's in the pantheon of the Mr. Rogers and the Bob Rosses and the Crocodile Hunter, the Steve Irwins. To be 99 years old and still be that curious about the world, we should all be so lucky. I hope for one thing that I get to live that long. And I hope that for however long I get to live, I remain as curious as that man is. I admire him so much for that. Sincerely. Get caught up on the comments. Yes, as Kimmy says, if you did get gifted a membership, and she's the one to set it up because I don't know how to do it at all. But we got a cool crew on Discord, and that's definitely a good perk of being a member or on Patreon. So definitely take advantage of that. Not for me, for the other people. There's like really cool people on there. I'm not cool. They are. I had Neil deGrasse Tyson on my podcast, and apparently he pissed off a handful of people. He was, what's the right word? Honoring? Not honoring. Challenging. Let's just say he was challenging. And I think some of the people in the audience did not appreciate that. But I will say, just the fact that I did get to, like, do an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson and had some laughs with him, that was a big moment for me. It really was. It really was. Brian Cox too. That was really cool. He was like, Brian Cox was like getting to meet Neil deGrasse Tyson, but nice. he was nice. So Naylor Shaw says you're tired of the watered down science NDT talks about. He might have overstayed his welcome a little bit, and I there's some behind the scenes. He's been accused of some things that aren't great, but okay. Super chat from Cy Roland. I know you like metal. Wish you would like the music. Why do you know this? Why do you think you know this? I listened to more rap growing up, honestly. I wouldn't say I'm a huge metal fan. It's great for working out. It's definitely great for working out. I don't hate metal, but I'm not like a metalhead or anything. Do metalheads wear shirts like this? Although I should have been wearing my Tritium Tour shirt. That definitely looks like a metal person. But tell Simon Whistler that he starts a new channel like it's true. That's true. I don't know how he does it. Well, I know how he does it. He doesn't write his stuff. He has a crew of people that he just kind of reads it. Joe Scott featuring Kyle Hill and the Physics Girl collab. How's Diana doing? Has anybody heard lately? I've never met Diana, by the way. I've never met Kyle either. We've interacted on like social media, but I've never met either one of them. I've met Derek from Veritasium. I've met Destin from Smarter Every Day. I met Joe from Be Smart. I'm happy. Look, I'm happy to say I've met some really cool people in the years I've been doing this, and it's an honor. I sometimes I'm like pinching myself. I'm like, whose life am I living right now? Ross and Magpie says you're a few years younger than me and just got cast to play a 35-year-old. Oh, thank you. I mean, it's good for you that you got cast to play a 35-year-old. They say like something like the back of your hand. That's what's been killing me lately is the back of my hand just keeps getting more and more wrinkled and witchy, and I'm just like, the hell, man. Aging is so weird and stupid. Can't believe we haven't fixed that yet. Cannibal Bananas. How's your viewer growth been on Nebula versus YouTube? Hope's been doing well. Keep thinking about getting a subscription. I honestly couldn't answer that. I really don't know. I don't keep track of it. It's not like something that really affects me over there. I could look it up, but honestly, I don't know. Should I care more about that? Somebody thinks this is cool. Yay! Thank you. Oh, am I cool AF? Appreciate that. Okay. What's the story of that tiny guitar that used to be behind you on your shelf? Interesting question. So back then, everything that was on the shelf behind me was a Patreon thing. It represented a Patreon. Were those the super answer files? No. Yeah. No, No. So yeah, that whole paradigm had to change. Good problem to have, but it got to where I think it was at the $20 level is what that was. People at the $20 level got like an icon behind them on the shelf. Back when I had like the IKEA shelves that are now over there, and I forget who that was, but that represented somebody who was a musician. I had to stop doing that though because again, good problem to have, but there were too many and it just got really cluttered. And then of course I changed the entire background anyway, but that explains that guitar. I think I still have it somewhere. You're an alcoholic and I'm being a bad influence with that. I'm sorry about that. Stay strong. I believe in you. Sorry, that's terrible. There's a buddy of mine who I don't think he really qualifies as an alcoholic, but he stopped drinking. I think it became something that was a problem for him. Again, I don't know. I don't know if it qualifies as alcoholism, but he went completely dry, and it's now this whole thing whenever he comes over, and it's like there's a John Mulaney bit about like when you stop drinking, everybody's like, can I give you a rotten turnip? I know you don't drink. It becomes something like that. Let's see. Koi blah blah. I nailed it. Love your work. Have you ever looked into how relatively mysterious mysteries were in the past? Like Roswell was super strange because of the lack of knowledge of experimental air. Oh. No, I don't think I've really covered anything like that. That's interesting though. Oh yeah, so Gabby's on the anti-NDT train. It was Donna Sawyer, who is somebody that shows up in the Zoom calls that we do. Yeah, she was so mad. She was so mad. She really did not like him. Wait, was he in a boy band for real? I love your name, by the way. Duncan Idaho Potato. My sister lives in Idaho. She's in Boise. Oh, here we go. I dropped clues like the guar mention on the market. Oh. I don't think you have to be a big metal fan to know who guar is. You'll never understand why Neil deGrasse Tyson is so angry towards Joe. I don't know about this beef. I couldn't say. I don't know. Philip, you probably left this 20 minutes ago, but got around with right to the book. See you in the next stream. Thanks for being here, Philip. Philip's awesome, by the way. I'm seeing people bashing Neil deGrasse Tyson now. I don't know. There were some accusations of like inappropriate. He was being inappropriate with some women. I wasn't there for it, obviously, but there was some of that stuff going around. So, not to give you another reason to not like him, but that was a thing. And actually, I think that had happened before I interviewed him, and I didn't know it. And that, oh, by the way, so seriously, so that was another thing about the podcast that was a little bit of a minefield. Was like, unfortunately, in today's social media world, you are kind of on the hook for everyone that shows up. If you interview somebody, like everybody's gonna be like, "Did you know that in 1975 he did the blah blah blah?" And it's just like, oh my god. And it just always felt like I would have literal anxiety attacks where I would like interview somebody and then put the podcast out, and then I would start getting comments about like, "Oh, I don't like this guy because XYZ," and I'm like, "Oh God, is this gonna be the thing that destroys me?" So it's a weird stress that I wish I didn't have to deal with, but it's just that's where things are now, Are you going to be at the Board Game Geek convention in Dallas next week? I'm not. I mean, I'll be in Dallas, but man, there's always conventions going on in Dallas. Michael Stevens. Oh, by the way, thank you for that super chat. By the way, Tony, that's very appreciated. I've never met Michael. And I'm sure if I did, he would just like pop up. Hey, Joe, Michael here. Hank Green collab. I did get to interview Hank Green. Hank is a glorious, wonderful guy from every interaction that I've had with him. I met Hank at VidCon one year. So I met him early on in my channel when I was total nobody. I was at I kind of bluffed my way into a party that I wasn't supposed to be able to get into, and he and John were both there, and I got to talk to John for a minute. He was lovely, and Hank was in the middle of talking to somebody else, and I came up and did the fangirling thing. But then many years later, this was such a moment for me. It's kind of one of these things when like you look up to somebody and then you meet them and it turns out that they're actually fans of yours, and it's just like, what is this? I was at a VidCon party, and you know how parties are and functions, and there's like these circles of conversation, right? So there's a circle of conversation, and he was there in the circle, and I kind of like was able to kind of, this is how you do when you get into a circle. And I worked my way in there, and I'm just kind of standing there, and I probably had a drink because I had a little social lubricant, but I'm standing there. And Hank's talking, and everybody's doing a thing, and he looks over at me and he goes, I know you. And I literally did the and then he came up to me later and we got to chat, and he was just such a lovely guy. And then he actually did show up on my podcast, and haven't talked to him since then. But Hank is a lovely, lovely guy, and I don't know how he puts out the level of content that he does at the rate that he does. Genuine good guy. Nothing but good things to say about Hank. I talked about this earlier. Did I watch the Blue Origin landing earlier? Thanks for all the interesting videos. And thank you for the super chat. From Canada. I've been to Canada. I did, yeah. I had to kind of step away after the second stage engine cut off, I believe. I mean, as far as I know, everything went well, right? Yeah, glad to see it. Glad to see it finally flying. And by the way, I gotta like call myself out a little bit. I remember making the point in a video at way back when. If you're running a science channel and you're talking about space stuff, at some point you have to kind of bash Blue Origin just a little bit, because it took them 20 years to finally get into orbit. And I did say at one point, like, if you're going to call yourself a space company, you have to eventually get into space. And they have. So there you go. There you go, Past Joe. Eat that. No, I'm happy for him. I'm glad they got up there. And New Glenn is a pretty great machine, man. I mean, it's only been 2 flights so far, but nothing went wrong. Bamboo was saying that you saw the Northern Lights at 3,500 feet on a flight. Oh, that is cool. Man, yeah, they didn't quite make it all the way down here. And if they did, there's way too much light pollution for me to have seen it. I know that like some places in North Texas got to see it and where it was darker, but I didn't get to see it. Man, I really would love to see the Northern Lights someday. Haven't made it. Oh, here we go. EI123. Thank you for that super chat. You fall asleep at night to my mysteries playlist. It's great and calming, but also you have your smallest ancestor vid in there 4 or 5 times. Smallest ancestor. Was that about the Flores man? The Hobbit people? I can't keep track of all my videos. Talking about too many things. But thank you for saying that. I have thought about, I'm doing these compilations now, and maybe, if Kimmy's still watching, maybe we need to do one that's around like something easy to fall asleep to, but I guess everybody falls asleep to my videos pretty easily. But no, there's legit videos or channels, entire channels. It's like Sleepy Science. I ran across a channel called Sleepy Science or something like that, and they cover science topics, but it's in a very quiet ASMR, go to sleep now kind of thing. Maybe I should do something like that. Feel like I missed something here. Hang on a sec. Maybe I didn't. Oh, okay. Sorry, let me get caught up. This is 90% of my live streams is just me like staring at a chat trying to figure out where I am on the planet. Julie McIntyre, never joined the live before. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. By the way, so normally these things go like an hour. We're an hour 45 in here, so maybe we're looking at another 30 minutes or so. Maybe. Does my eye look red? Oh, that's just the shadow. I think I've got a sty in my eye right now. Yeah. Can you see it? In that eye right in the corner? It's just kind of swollen. Has anybody else noticed this? It hurts. My eyeball hurts. Just noticed that the other day. By the way, I had a headache for like 2 days straight. On like Tuesday and Wednesday. Finally this morning I woke up and it went away, but for like 2 days straight I couldn't even like function. It was terrible. And then now I've got this eye thing. Oh, I already talked about it, sorry. Get caught up. Get caught up. Here we go. Man, Iron, Fire, and Spice. You sending lots of these. Thank you. What are my thoughts on the Alcubierre drive? Is it possible that the map that shows a kind of network and energy between the stars and structures in the universe are dark matter subspace corridors? Maker's Mark, baby. Man, it's been a long time since I talked about Alcubierre. Okay. I haven't looked at this in a while, but I remember that for a while it was like, it's possible if you could harness all the energy in Jupiter or something like that. Some ridiculous amount of energy was required for it. But I know that like other like refining of the concept has brought that down a little bit. I don't know that it's ever gotten to the state where it's like, oh yeah, we could totally do that. You know, it's still like more of a theoretical thing. But I haven't looked at it in a while. Maybe that's changed. Oh, Joe turned me on to the Y-Files. Listening to Joe and the Y-Files while driving home from a 14-hour stay has saved my life from falling asleep behind the... Oh, wow, yeah. By the way... No. This is Batman. Batman 781... Okay, so what has happened... What's with this head movement I'm doing now? What has happened on a live stream before with the Patreon people was we were talking, and you can't see it because the book's in the way, but I got my little astronaut back here, right? I got that at Johnson Space Center, and I just thought it would look good, so it's there. And it also holds a book up pretty well. But I was in a live stream, I was kind of joking about this, and I said that at some point I might do a sketch where like I'm talking, like the astronaut's talking to me in some way, and somebody mentioned Hecklefish. And I was like, yeah, I could have Hecklenot. And then I was like, I should totally do Hecklenot. So I reached out to AJ, and we're going to do Hecklenot at some point. That was something that we have talked about. I got to find the right video, and we're going to figure out the bit, how it's going to work. But there could be a Hecklenot. That's all I'm saying. AJ's a really cool guy, by the way. The beard is back. What do we got with the beard? Would you consider doing a video on light pollution and make it a bit of a PSA on why it matters and why each of us can make a difference? Man, I don't think I've really ever covered that. I'll write that down. It's possible, yeah. There's also, I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about there in terms of like how everything's turning to LED now, and what difference that makes. I have not researched this yet, but I think there's an interesting. I think there's some interesting stuff, and I think that there. English. Okay. Something that happens when I'm recording, I think it's because this is kind of gross. Just bear with me for a second. But I think as I'm talking, as a person is talking, you know, little tiny like bubbles form in your mouth, right? Because all the movement and stuff, and saliva and air, and you wind up swallowing it, and all of that accumulates in your stomach, and you wind up burping. And my poor editor Nick has to sit through take after take after take of me burping. But you guys don't have to see that because it gets cut out. And then I'm doing live streams, and I find myself sitting here going brr as I'm trying to talk, because I'm a professional. I don't know what I should stop picking at, but I probably don't touch it. Oh, y'all are talking about the eye. Okay. See, it's behind. It's very behind. Yes, I need to like wash it out or something. As I touch my nose and smear it all over my face. Yeah, I'm a disgusting person. Oh, interesting question. Our Ludicrous Future reunion again for the new year. It comes up every once in a while. Tim and Ben and I are on, you know, a group chat, and every once in a while it comes up, and then it's just kind of hard to pin it down. I'll talk to him about it. We need to do that. It's been a while. It's been way too long, actually. We are all still friends, by the way. I love those guys. Great people. Okay. Is this Julie? Is this Julie C? Why is it coming up Jula Billy? Scott Baio gave me pink eye? That's a story. You got a pink eye from Chachi? Really? Sounds like I'm sensitive to solar weather. Are you talking about the headache thing? So, you're not the first person to bring that up, but it probably had more to do with the fact that the temperature here in Dallas over the weekend, over like Monday, it was like 80 degrees on Saturday, and then by Monday morning it was freezing. Like we had to wrap our plants outside, and then less than 24 hours later it was back up into the 70s. It was just like this ridiculous swing of weather. I think maybe that's why I got the headache. That's my guess anyway. Oh, it's doing that thing again where it's like shooting me up on old comments. Hang on. Dear Lord. Fear Labs Audio 7815 super chat $10. Thank you. My girlfriend Sarah is a huge fan, and she says hi. Hi, Sarah. Everybody say hi, Sarah. Thank you for that, dude. I'm just seeing all these comments of people telling me not to pick it. God. It's like growing up all over again. Wrong one. Although, thank you for that comment. Do you like Star Trek? I was talking about this earlier. I do like Star Trek, but I kind of have not followed it since probably Voyager, which I know is ancient to most people. My favorite sci-fi. Ooh, put me on the spot. I mean, I was talking about the Orville earlier. It's up there. It's funny. I want to say The Expanse, but I haven't finished The Expanse. I have gotten caught up on For All Mankind, which it's hot and cold. There's some cool stuff there, but yeah. I think my problem with For All Mankind is like a lot of times the astronauts don't act like an astronaut would act. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be. Anyway. So, Julie C. No idea why I'm not Julie C. anymore. It's from South Park. Aliens put probes in carbon. Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, it's been a while. I failed on my South Park lore. Oh, yeah, Firefly. Firefly's a good one. Battlefield Earth. Starship. Hello. Battlestar Galactica. Very good. I would like Strange New Worlds. I've heard good things about it. I don't have Paramount Plus. That's the line that I've drawn, and I've just decided I'm not going to get another streaming service, and I haven't gotten it. I never saw Farscape. That was like Jim Henson's company, wasn't it? Who's my favorite YouTuber? I can. Well, it's very. I will tell you the YouTubers whose videos I will stop whatever I'm doing and watch whenever they come out, and that is Todd in the Shadows, Drew Gooden. They're not really science channels, if I'm being honest. They're just creators that are just really funny, and they deliver. They always deliver, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And you know what's funny? Y'all are talking about Firefly. I saw Serenity first. I didn't actually see the show first. I saw Serenity first. And then went back and watched the series. Thank you for years of excellent, interesting, entertaining, and well, thank you. Sorry, we're talking about sci-fi. I thought you were talking about a sci-fi show, Equilibrium Television. It looks like a sci-fi show, so I thought you were talking about that. But you're talking about me. Thank you so much. That was very nice. And thank you for the super chat. Picard always makes it so. I never saw Picard, the new the series Picard. Oh my God, I haven't finished Andor season 2 either. I saw the first season. It's great. And you know, I've only watched a few episodes of Red Dwarf, but I did get to talk to Robert Llewellyn on a podcast. And, you know, I did it on a podcast, and then I met him at a EV convention and stuff. Very nice guy. I was into Doctor Who for a while, and then I fell off when Capaldi became the Doctor. And it wasn't because I didn't like him. I don't know. You know, you just stop watching things sometimes. That's how it was. I didn't have anything against Capaldi. I'm still interested in like the lore of Doctor Who, and I kind of like passively keep track of it and whatnot. But I haven't really been watching it. Say what about Family Guy, but the Orville is pure goodness. I agree. It had no business being that good. How dare he? I still need to watch the rest of The Expanse. It's ridiculous that I haven't. Oh, have I seen The Three Body Problem? I am 2/3 of the way through the third book. I'm reading it right now. I read the first book and the second book. I'm on Death's End right now, trying to finish it. So, but I watched the series. They definitely changed some things from the book. But that scene where the boat was going through like the Panama Canal and they sliced it up with that nanowire stuff. Oh my God, that was so well done. That scene, I'll just pull it up and watch it on YouTube every once in a while. That scene was just a masterpiece. So good. When am I coming to South Texas? I'm assuming you mean for Starship? That's a good question, man. I need to, though. I need to get down there and see a Starship launch. The thing is, though, it's like I feel like I just find out about it a few days before it happens. I don't have time to really like keep close track of it or anything. But I definitely want to. I definitely want to go down there and see it. Yeah, I was talking about Pluribus earlier. The first episode especially was like really good. The second one, here's what I don't like. I saw somebody that was like, it's not quite living up to Breaking Bad. They've only released 2 episodes, bro. Like, come on, like give it a chance. I'm giving it a chance. There were just like in the second episode, there were like some conversations, some scenes, and I was just like, why wouldn't she ask this? Why wouldn't this be said? Like I don't know. In my head, I was like thinking about how I would have wanted to do that differently, but that's the writer in me. What can you do? But I like the concepts that they're dealing with in Pluribus so far. Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. Anyways, ever watched the show Eureka? I think I only saw a couple of episodes of that. Different eye. I'm scratching a different eye. Don't worry about it. And thank you for that super chat. But no, I never. I mean, I saw a couple of episodes, but I haven't really ever gotten into it. Is Joe responding to regular messages? No, he is not. I'm trying to. There's just a lot. I just want to make sure I catch the people who have, contributed here. Which, by the way, I hate it when people are like, oh, so it's like a pay or play thing. And it's like, well, no, but if somebody is, if somebody's donating money on a super chat, I want to make sure and honor that. You know what I mean? That not necessarily to the detriment of other people, but like if somebody's doing that, I just want to make sure. Apocalypse Cow. Wait, Apocalypse Cow Boom. Is this a different account? Apocalypse Cow is who did this, by the way. Right? Am I right about that? You made that. Everybody applaud Apocalypse Cow for contributing to the channel with art. Now hopping off the first time, enjoy your... Oh, okay. You're just saying hi. Well, thank you for that, Apocalypse. Or Cow. Mr. Cow. Mr. Cow, sir. That's the way it's supposed to be. Parks and Recreation show video is when I've... Oh. Did I do an episode on Parks and Rec? I'm sure I've talked about it plenty of times. Oh, sorry, I'm burping again. Oh, this is very nice. Big hug to me. Thank you, Bonnie Valentine. And thank you for the super chat. Is this one of those, I gotta give myself a... That's nice. May I recommend you like Mr. Best? Do I assume you mean Mr. Beat? You mean Mr. Beat, right? I did meet Mr. Beat at educational YouTuber convention thing. I'd like to have him on and talk about some stuff. I do like his videos. I think he does good stuff. Assuming you mean Mr. Beat, not Mr. Best. All right, so Ash Q saying you watched Invasion after I recommended it. I liked it at first, but I don't know why you getting raged whenever Mitsuki comes on screen. That character's very irritating. Anisha, yeah. Yeah, my wife and I both were just like, oh my god, that lady's so annoying. She's just like over the top on everything. The things that Invasion did well, I think they did really well. But there's some stuff in that show that definitely was... it slid a little bit. I'm gonna be nice to my sponsor and not shoot it down. It's worth watching, but Adam Frost from New Zealand and sorry, Kiwi. I said Aussie. Hi Joe, this has been melting my mind. What's your thoughts? If I'm wearing headphones with noise canceling off, sound energy is going in my ear. I turn it on, it adds sound energy. Is more energy going in my ear? I guess it depends on how you define energy. The funny thing about noise canceling headphones is there's like a fullness there, You know what I mean? Like you still feel the fullness in your ear of sound. Like you feel the sound, but you don't hear the sound. Does that make sense? So I know what you mean by that. I turn it off, it adds sound energy. I guess it would be. Yeah. I guess because it is kind of like you're hearing nothing, but the reason you're hearing it is because it's like counteracting the waveforms. It's weird. It kind of like fills your ear with nothingness. Thank you for that super chat, and I don't know that I have a distinctive answer for you, but I imagine if you define energy as like the sound waves, well, damn, man, you're messing me up now. If you define the energy as sound waves and it's canceling out the sound waves, then it wouldn't be the sound, but it's also I'm not helping you, am I? I'm not helping you. What I find interesting about, I was saying a second ago, what I find interesting about noise canceling headphones or earbuds is that you do still feel the pressure in your ear because it's feeding that in there. So I think I know where you're going with that. But some people would also parse the whole energy thing. Like, what do you mean by energy? So that might be the worst answer I've ever given anybody on anything ever. I've laid new ground on not answering questions. Fire and iron and spice. Maybe you just hit me up with these. I've burned my life for a sunrise that I will never see. What have I sacrificed? Everything. Oh, Andor. Got it. Took me a minute. I didn't know you were quoting something. I'm just like, what? This guy, you burned yourself on your fire, iron, and spice? You need to have a thing to grab the hand. The hell, you don't just grab the. Don't grab the iron. You gotta have the. You burn yourself. I'm an idiot. All right, guys, we got maybe like 15 more minutes before I probably need to shut this down. Back to Miss Julie. Scratching your other eye is a good way. Okay, Mom. I need. Oh, here we go. Let's fix this problem right now. I got some alcohol. Let's do this. I gotta do that. Would that fix the problem though? Just douse myself in alcohol. Light it on fire. Maybe just use this. Yeah. I can fix the problem. Fix it in the old-time West way, right? Oh, somebody missed me talking about this earlier. The Polestar is great. Right now. We'll see how long that lasts. All the little snaggles aside, I actually do really like the car. Let's see. Let me get through. Get caught up. Get caught up. Get caught up. Am I a fan of Oasis? Basically the only thing bigger in the UK than Doctor Who. I know they're touring right now. I don't think they're coming anywhere around here though, unfortunately. But I like Oasis. You should watch. I mentioned Todd in the Shadows earlier. He did okay, if you don't know Todd in the Shadows, he's a music reviewer. He has a couple of series. One is called One Hit Wonderland, where he talks about one-hit wonders and like why they weren't able to follow up and have another hit. And then he has a series called Train Records, and it's about albums that killed careers. And he talked about their, which one was it? Be Here Now. That was it. Oasis's Be Here Now album. He has a fantastic video on that. Todd in the Shadows, if you're not watching him, he's super funny, and I like rewatch his videos over and over again. They're just a lot of fun. Kimberly Anhall, $20. Thank you so much. Just wanted to let you know that your coverage of the Gloria Ramirez Toxic Blood was the best explanation you have ever listened to. Multiple other people tell the story, and no one else pinpointed the vacuum tube's contribution. Thank you. Man, that is a freaky story. It's in the book, by the way. I haven't mentioned the book in like an hour. Yeah, no, the Gloria Ramirez story is in the book. I'm really proud of that video for that reason. I'm proud of the H.H. Holmes video for that reason. Because, what is it they say? What is it? Oh man, I want to get the quote right, but I'm not getting it right. You know, they say like if the legend is more interesting than the truth, print the legend. And so the legend of H.H. Holmes was that he like built this murder castle and was murdering all these people. But my writer Ryan, kicked so much arse with that video, and he did like some heavy research, and we got like the real story of H.H. Holmes, which is still pretty bad, but he didn't like murder hundreds of people in a murder castle. I'm really proud of that. I'm proud that we put a video out that like tells the story. Like I've still to this day not seen another video that covers it as accurately as we did. Oh, look, a lot of what I do on this channel is entertainment, right? It's like fun, entertaining, facts stuff. And I get it as accurate as I can. I'm not trying to mislead anybody or put any wrong information out there, but it's mostly just fun. But every once in a while, you know, we'll cover a topic and it's like, do some real deep research on it in a way that I've just not seen anybody else do. Those are the ones I'm very proud of those. I really am. And I'm saying that not directed at myself. I mean, a little bit directed at myself, but also directed at my writers. Like they really, the research that they do is, I'm proud of them, put it that way. And I'm burping again. Oh my God. Asked, how often do I go live? That's a good question to kind of start wrapping things up with. I do it on Patreon twice a month. I do a Whiskey Thursday, and I do a Coffee Saturday. So Saturday mornings and Thursday afternoons. One each per month. And I try to do them at roughly the same time. So I'm going to be doing a Saturday one Saturday morning this coming Saturday. The reason being that, you know, there's people who follow from different parts of the world, and sometimes, you know, they can't make one, but they can make the other because of time zones and stuff. But those are only on Patreon. I don't really do them publicly. This one was more public to sort of celebrate the book launch and everything, and it's just kind of my way of saying thank you. But, you know, we're talking about it. We're talking about doing more. You know. You know what? I'll just put that question out there. Would you guys like to see me do more live streams like this? Would it be cool if I did live streams on specific topics or had guests, whatever, or you know, go over what's in the news or whatever? You know, like we could do that. Yeah, it's not something that's ever really been a part of my content strategy, but I enjoy doing them. Especially if I can drink. And if you guys like them and it's a good time, if it's a good time had by all, you know, why not? Like I said, I'm looking at 2026 and considering what you know, what we might be doing in the next year, and that could be part of it. So yeah. How much whiskey did he drink? Not that much. I had one, and then I just poured a little bit more, and I've only taken a sip or two from this. I have had, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to say it. I have had whiskey live stream. Okay, it's happened one time where I did a whiskey live stream, and then I went downstairs and threw up. And I was like, I am too old to be drinking like that. I don't normally drink that much. For anybody who's curious, I'm not a heavy drinker. Once I get to the point where like something comes out of my mouth, words come out of my mouth that I wasn't expecting to come out of my mouth, that's when I'm like, nope, and I just push it aside and go sit on a curb somewhere by myself. I don't like feeling like I'm not in control. So I don't drink to excess very often at all. So, oh, did Windy Goon just cover H.H. Holmes? I didn't see that. I missed that one. I don't catch all of Windy Goon's stuff, but I do like him for the most part. I totally did that. Yes, I did do that. Well, I mean, I pretended to do that. You're on to me, Gabby. Gabby, you don't have to send me super chats. You're already in. I like you. You don't have to do that. Netflix got to do HA something. That game. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys! I was on a plane. My wife and I were flying back from Colorado. We went and saw some family there, and the guy sitting next to me was watching that show on his iPad. I want to say, yeah, it was on his iPad. It was like hanging on the seat, and I don't know if y'all have seen it. I really haven't sat down and watched it, but I just happened to be catching because he, right there. There's a scene where he's like having sex with a corpse on the plane. I'm watching this. It's like and these guys just sitting there like eating his pretzels, and I'm like, homie, dude, what is happening right now? So I haven't actually watched the show, but I'm like looking, and I look at my wife, and she looks at me, and I'm like, it's just a guy having sex with a corpse. See, just me saying that probably just got this whole thing demonetized. All those super chats are now like Google's probably. Chosen Architect. I guess you haven't been here for a while. Can I just say, like, it happens almost every video. Almost every video. I'll go scroll through the comments. I do actually look at comments. I know it's a bad idea, but almost every video there's a comment from somebody that's like, hey man, I'm glad you're back. Where you been? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I never stopped posting videos. I'm sure it's an algorithm thing. It's just funny. Do I need to go there? It's funny to me, as I was talking earlier about, like, we're all kind of living our own little bespoke realities now. We're all living... Here's another... Sorry, I'm not going to tangent myself, but I have another thought here. We're all living our own little bespoke realities. We're all living off of algorithms and letting them kind of dictate what we see. And it's just really funny to me that, like, people who don't make the intentional effort to, like, follow my channel or any channel for that matter, assume that just because they haven't been seeing my videos that I haven't been putting them out. You know what I mean? Like, just because they have not had the photons from the TV with my face on it going into their eyeballs, that I am not putting out videos. And I don't think we have yet wised up to the fact that, like, we're not in charge of what we're looking at anymore, you know? I do have in me a video that I'm kind of passively putting together in my head about how we've lost intentionality. Technology Connections talked about this. He did a great video about it, actually, and that's why I haven't ever really covered it myself, because I feel like he did a really good job himself, but however that went. But the idea that, like, we are not intentional about what we do on the internet anymore. We just let algorithms throw things in our faces, and we just do this, and just, like, let some computer just decide what we get to see. And it's kind of disturbing. And I'm as guilty of it as anybody, by the way. I'm not trying to cast judgment. I'm part of it. But, like, anyway, it's a subject that I've been thinking a lot about, and I'll probably wind up covering it in some way. That, like, we just are not intentional in our lives anymore. It's kind of disturbing, don't you think? It's weird to me. Anyway, hey Joe, how are you? I'm good. Trying to wrap this thing up. Oh, Mike D says yes. Mike D, what you got for me? Yeah. I think y'all were saying yes earlier when I was asking about if y'all wanted to see live streams. I could call it Burps with Joe. Does anybody want to see Burps with Joe? Okay, so there's some people. Okay, so some people are interested in seeing more live streams. Well, okay. So TJ Knight, JT Knight, Kniggets. We subscribe, like, and do all the things, but I think there's so much more content that we engage in. Yeah. You know, like it's funny because again, I'm calling myself out here because I am still on Facebook because there's friends there and whatnot. But like, is it on the? Yeah, it's on the mobile app. There's a friends button where you can just press the friends button and it just shows a chronological list of posts from your friends. All of us at any given time can just press that button and get the experience that we all say we want, but none of us do it. We just get on the home feed and then get mad at the rage bait that it sends our way and all the ads and pages that we never asked to look at. We get mad about it. You absolutely don't have to have that experience. There's another button with an entirely different experience. It has the exact experience that you say you want, and you never press it. I'm fascinated by that like fact, you know? Sorry, I ranted for a second there. Okay, okay, guys, as Riley Shaw said, damn, I joined at the end. Definitely interested in more live streams. Well, we'll see what we can do about that. But you're right. I think we're at the end. Normally, I only do these for an hour, and we've been going for almost an hour and a half. No, almost 2 hours. 2.5 hours. Good Lord. Okay, I'm not going to have a voice tomorrow. So, guys, there are currently 730 people watching, and I am appreciative of every last one of you. For anybody over the last day or so, and by the way, here's your last chance, literally in like 2 hours, the price of this thing is going to go back up. I said I was going to pitch anymore, didn't I? That's the last one. That's the very last pitch. Anybody who even did the 99-cent ebook today, thank you. And by the way, in case I didn't say it, thank you. Truly, I appreciate it. One more burp. This isn't a thing that I do very often. It's sorry. Let me get this right. I'm really bad at closing these things out. The regulars can tell you that. But this is a special occasion because we got the book coming out. We got the big documentary next month, and for what it's worth, between the book and the documentary, I'm way more excited about the documentary. I see a therapist to try to keep my head straight, and I was talking to him today, and he was like, "Are you nervous about it? How are you feeling about this documentary finally coming out?" Because we've been working on it for 4 years. That is not an exaggeration. I've been working on this documentary for 4 years, and he was asking how I was feeling about it, and it's not nervous, it's not anxious. I'm just super excited to get this out to you guys because I do think it's probably the best thing I've ever done. I really do. And when I say me, there were editors that obviously did the crafting of it and everything, and they did a world-class job. I can't wait to show it to you guys. Between the book and that, it's been a hell of a year. I know it's been a very irregular year in terms of like the kind of content that I've been making and putting out. Certainly not at the cadence that I used to in the years previous. But you guys have been patient with me and forgiving and supportive. I don't have the words enough to thank you for that. I just want to make that as clear as I possibly can to the 700 people. I've lost 300 or 30 so far. To the 700 people still watching. thank you enough. I really can't. It means the world to me. And we got some plans in place to kind of get back up to that regular cadence that you were used to in the next year. But we got these big projects to get out first. So the book, as of, I guess, in an hour and a half, is going to be completely, the push for it anyway is out of the way. I'll still be bringing it up here and there. Obviously, I'm not going to just stop trying to sell it. But yeah, can't wait for you guys to see the documentary. And I don't know how to end video, so I'm just going to say, again, thank you guys, all of you. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope that you have a great weekend. For anybody who joined tonight on Member or Patreon or whatever, maybe, hopefully I get to see you on Saturday for one of these. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you then. So everybody, thank you for being here. Have a great weekend. And that is me wrapping up this live stream like a boss. Y'all have a good one. Love you guys. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.